Oh dear, my throat's going. My throat is going then. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. How are we? Are we good? Have we had a good... When did I say... I saw yesterday morning. Oh, no. I didn't. I'm lying. I saw TikTok yesterday morning because I was in the car. I saw Facebook, YouTube Monday morning. So anyway, hope you've had a good couple of days, as I haven't, if I've not seen you. It is Wednesday, the 3rd of December. You can do your third. Do you do advent calendar morning or evening? That's the question. When you do your advent calendar, we always do it in the evening. We always do it nighttime in bed. Like, our advent calendars are on our bedside table. Is it first thing you do when you wake up in the morning? Oh, a little chocolate. Or do you save it for the evening? We save ours to the evening. We always like get in bed. So last night I had a bag of proper chips, the lentil chips, but Aldi's version. They are sensational. 73 calories a bag, just the lightly salted ones. Absolutely top tier. I had a bag of them, half a punnet of grapes, and one little advent calendar, chocky wocky woo woo. And yeah, so that was me. That was me evening snacks. I'm on it this week. Don't know why. I've said the last couple of weeks, I feel my motivation has been a little bit lax, we'll say. Don't get me wrong. I've been ticking the boxes. I've been kind of doing what I need to do, but I don't feel I've been giving it out. I'm back this week. And I think, do you know what it is? This week it's December. Is it really? Thank you very much for the... Yeah, it's December. And we've not really got too many plans. We've got something on this. We've got a Christian on Sunday, but I'm not planning on drinking it or anything like that. It's just going to be turn up, do the bit, have a little bit of buffet food. Come on. It's nothing. It's not a major deal or anything like that, right? Next Friday, we're at a friend's for a takeaway, but again, it's not a boozy thing. It's just we always do Secret Santa with our friends. We're godparents to one of their children, and we just do a bit of a Secret Santa, a bit of fun, and we always have a takeaway just as a pre kind of Christmas sort of tradition thing. So that's next Friday. Other than that, nothing on, no plans, and then the weekend after that, busy weekend, 2 days. Saturday, Sunday, full of stuff that is going to be fairly calorific. But although we've got nothing major on this weekend and nothing major on next weekend, life can be very reactive this time of year. And I've got a breaking strain of a soggy Kit Kat. And we do have to accept at times, even on a weight loss journey, and I'm not telling you this to just go and have complete free reign on purpose and go mental. But, you know, it is a time of year where we meet up with people. It is a time of year where we catch up with people. And life is at times too short. Life at times is too short. So it is about finding that right balance. You know, I got some news this week, and I'm not very close to this person. I'm good friends with her husband. Right, I'm not going to go into any details or name any names, but I got some news this week that a friend of mine, his wife, has literally got the big C, and she's not even 30, she's 34, right? And it's just wow, and it's stage 4 at 34 years of age, and it brings it all home. And what it brings it all home, things like that, when you just you know, and I'm going to sound really depressing here, and I'm not meaning to sound really depressing, right? But this is going to sound really depressing. Another mate of mine, Dan, that I trained with in the gym, we were chatting the other day. We trained, and then we went for a quick swim and a steam and a sauna afterwards and a bit of a natter. And he told me about our friend's wife who's got the big C. And I lost my dad to cancer, and he lost his dad to cancer. I was like, how old was... And I was really good friends with Dan's dad, actually. I was actually more friendly with Dan's dad, because Dan's about 10 years younger than me, and Dan's dad was about 10 years, maybe 15 years older than me. Sort of sat in the middle. I was really good friends with Glenn. And he was like, yeah, my dad was 52 when he passed away. And I was like, Yeah, but he fought it for ages, didn't he? And he was like, yeah, about 4 years. So I said, he got cancer at 48. And he was like, yeah, throat cancer at 48. And I was like, I'm 45 years of age. When you hear stuff like that, it makes you like, so, and why I'm saying this is life is too short to not enjoy life. And with weight loss or being overweight, there's two ways to look at that. Number one, life is too short to be flipping miserable day in, day out with your weight. So and sometimes you need some cold hard truths. Yes, it's a mental game. Yes, it's a mental health thing. Yes, it's a food addiction. Yes, we can't cure it overnight, but sometimes we need a wake up call. I wasted 34 years of my life existing, not living, being obese, right? And don't get me wrong, I know there's not many people that were as overweight as I was, but I literally, the years I have wasted, and I didn't realize, I said this to Rach, I said, we chat about it quite a bit, and I said, I didn't realize how much my weight and my obesity physically and mentally held me back until I've lost the weight, right? But we do need so we should use that life is too short to give ourselves a kick up the bum, because next thing you sneeze and life can be gone, right? And if you've been unhappy for the last 20 years of your life, it's time to start being happy. It's time to start putting the journey into place, even 2-3 weeks before Christmas. But on the balance side of that, it's also, I see too many people that either do weight loss or life. So when they're losing weight and their best friend is like, we need to catch up, let's have a catch up. I'm not saying catch ups need to be calorific. I'm not saying they need to deter you from your journey. But, when your best friend rings you up and says, we've not seen each other for 3 months, we need to catch up before Christmas, go and have that catch up, right? When if you've not seen family members, if there's a family get together and you're like, oh, I can't go to a family get together, I'm on a weight loss journey, go to that family get together and put things into place to make it work. I had a client last week that messaged me, and it was a bit of a panicky, or she might have done it on a live, I can't remember. And it was a bit of a panicky message, and it was, we put things into place for a couple of busy weekends in a row. Like, let's do this during the week. We'll bank that. This is the mentality we're going to go in with. We're still going to stay accountable. And she'd come up very honest, very accountable, and said it all went out the window. Basically, food, booze, smashed, overeaten, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, blah, 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 blah. Bit ashamed of myself, scared to get on the scales on Friday. I went, no, absolutely not. We're never scared to get on the scales. We're never ashamed of what we do, because we can't change the past, right? But what you can do is work towards the future. That client got on the scales on Friday, weighed it, and lost half a pound, right? Now, don't get me wrong, over a couple of weeks, ideally, we'd like to lose a couple of pounds. That's kind of the deficit I put most of my clients in. But this time of year, when life is a bit busy and we put things into place and it goes out the window, but we fully enjoy a couple of weekends of life, which we should be doing, and then we still get on the scales and lose half a pound, it shows you don't need to sacrifice life to have a successful weight loss journey. We genuinely don't. Now, don't get me wrong, if that client is going to live that lifestyle weekend in, weekend out, 52 weeks of the year, and you're going to lose £1 a month, you're going to lose 12 pounds over a year. For most people, that's going to be really frustrating. It's progress. It's going to be really frustrating, and it's going to do people's heads in a little bit. But we have to appreciate every now and then life is going to be busy. And when life is busy, we just do the best we can. And the big thing that client did was, although they had a bit of a blowout weekend, although things didn't go to plan, although they didn't track their calories or anything like that, Monday come round and they got straight back into it. When they could have gone, you know what, sod this, I'll get back into it in January. People will be saying that now, 3 weeks before Christmas. Yeah, it's 3 weeks. Today's Christmas Eve. We've still got 3 weeks where, yes, we might not make the progress we could make in January, in February, in March, when life's a lot quieter, but we can still make progress. Right, let me do a top 5. I just needed to go on a little bit of a ding this morning. Just because life hits you sometimes. Certain things trigger your mental. Do you want to come up and say hello? Come on, Ross. You're not going outside. No, you've been out. You go out in a bit when we've done the live. Yeah. Come on. Ross, come on. Oh, sorry then. No one wants to see you anyway. I want to see you. Oh, you're a good girl. What we're doing, top 5 this morning. Lisa's in at number 1. Yeah, certain things have just hit me a little bit this week and last week where, you chat to a few people and I'm just like, do you know what? I don't want to say no these next 3 weekends to anything I might want to do. Impromptu little, mate phones me, fancy a pint, this, that, and I don't want to say no to him. So why I'm saying that is then she's got the bag of washing. Blossom, get out the bag of washing, love. And this time of year, I don't want to. I'm not saying that'll happen. I could have a couple of the weekends could just run as they're meant to be running. But I don't want to say no, really. So for that purpose, I'm going to be on it Monday to Friday. When I know I can be on it Monday, are you coming up here or not? Right, I'm bringing you up because you're mithering, right? So if I'm on it Monday to Friday and I bank a really good amount of calories, I can fit some impromptu stuff into the weekend and still be in a decent calorie deficit at the end of the week. So that's the plan. Anyway, Lee's in at number 1, Lou's in at number 2, Callum's in at number 3, Lee's in at number 4, and Mama Bear is in at number 5. Good morning, guys. Thank you for being very patient while I'm having my mouse running away with me a little bit. Annis, good morning. Katie, good morning. Anyone else in this morning? No, is it all quiet? Is it all quiet on the Western Front? Yeah, we're just sat here listening to you. Regan, good morning. Let me scan down. Hi everyone. Hi Neil. Good morning, Lynn. And Sheila's in as well. Love the barbecue ones. Oh, the proper chips. Yeah, they're so good. Advent calendar in the morning, jockey for breakfast. Hey, I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to do it. I'm just asking you when people do it. Whenever I remember. Isn't it ace? What, there's little things in life that are just ace, right? That are so insignificant and tiny, but they put a smile on your face. And one of those things is going, oh, I've got to do my advent calendar for 3 days. Amazing, isn't it? When you've got 2, 3, and 4 all in a row to go at. Some of you might be like, doesn't happen, Neil. I'm already on number 20 and it's only the 3rd of December. But be that as it may, right? When you have that time, if you're a patient person, right, and you are just, I do my advent calendar when I need to do my advent calendar. You know what I mean? And suddenly, I don't know, a few days run away, you forget, blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you're like, oh, it's the 9th of December and I've got 7, 8, and 9 to go. Absolutely sensational. Anna, good morning. Have we done everyone? I think we have. I think we've caught up. Drinking loads of water daily, tracking, weighing food. Lovely. Staying accountable. Morning, Caroline. Your ears must be burning. I was just kind of talking about you. All good. All very good, by the way. Before you know what you're saying about me. Eh? Don't you dare talk about me if I'm not in the line. Sharjay, good morning. Carrie, good morning. Peter P, good morning, mate. So I'm on it this week. I've already banked, I think, for this week. I've not tracked my calories today. Oh, you bad lad. In fact, do you know what? I'm going to get NutriCheck up on the app on my computer. It's not very stable. It can crash a bit. But, right. That's a meal idea for today. Let me copy that out of the way. Now, let me move that to Saturday using the same meal occasion. So I've got a clear day today. Right. I'm having today, what am I having? I'm having my turkey chili with rice that I had the other day. So let's copy that from Monday to today, copy to the same meal occasion. So I'm tracking my calories today. And this is what I will stick to. We've got 5% fat burger for tea. Di's coming around for tea. Diva Di, my mother, is round for tea tonight. And I'm doing 5% fat smash burgers why is it? Oh no, that's Irish full fat. 5% fat. They're not the ones. No. Oh, that was per 100 grams. No, they're not the ones. Let me do 5% Aldi burger. This is the thing with using the app on the computer because there we go. Because it's not used to like. NutriCheck remembers what you eat, if that makes sense. Right, Aldi brioche bun. Yeah. Right, Aldi brioche bun. That's going in there. Cheese slice. Right, cheese slice. And then air fried chips. So we'll be having potatoes. Raw potato. Where are them? Yeah, I'm going to have 300 grams of chippy whips. And then sauce. I don't know what sauce. I'm going to put, that Dutch style mayo. Flipping, I bought 4 bottles of it the other day. 10 quid for 4 bottles. Not that it was on offer. It was just £2.50 a bottle from B&M. So good. Right, let me put one of them in. Right, so I've got my breakfast, I'm a lunch in. I'm having a yogurt bowl for, I've got my lunch and my dinner. I'm having a yogurt bowl. I've had a yogurt bowl for ages. They're just slipping a little bit, only because last time I had one was Friday. Just the weather, really. Well, to be fair, so what am I doing? I'm banking a lot of calories at the moment, like so over the last 2 days, let me get my week view up. Over the last 2 days, I have banked 1,440 calories, right? So I had 1,828 calories on Monday and 1,932 calories on Tuesday, which is, for me personally, is not a lot of calories. Am I over restricting myself over a week? Absolutely not. I will make, so what I'm trying to do is, I'm going in Monday, Tuesday. My appetite is now going to ramp up. If I have 2 very low days, Monday, Tuesday, my appetite kicks back a little bit, which I'm all right with. But they're in the bank now, right? That's it. I've got 1,440 calories in the bank, right? I'm trying to bank 2.5. So I'm going to try and stick to 2,100 today, tomorrow, and that'll have me at 2,900 calories for the weekend, right? We've got, like I say, Kristen on Sunday, but it's just, I'm driving. It's just a bit of buffet food. I'm going to give myself 1,000 calories for buffet food, and that's about it. And then I'll obviously be eating other things for the day. But, and then Friday's our wedding anniversary, but we're both working. So we're going to go out Saturday. We're umming and ahhing between Hickories and going for a curry. It's nothing majorly romantic. We're just going to go out for a bit of tea. Hickories all going for a curry. I've got Hickories booked, but I am craving a good curry at the moment. So we're umming and ahhing. So I will be doing that Saturday night, but we have both said, although it's our wedding anniversary this weekend, if some friends chirp up and say, "Oh, are you free tonight?" we might be like, "Yeah, we are." And we are. We're just doing something ourselves, but we're not that bold. We've actually booked for our wedding anniversary a night in Chester in between Christmas and New Year. So that's what we're doing for our wedding anniversary. That's our wedding anniversary day sort of thing. And we just thought, we'll go out for a bit of tea this weekend. But yeah, so and if our friend said, do you fancy going out for a bit of tea? I would probably say yes, and that can then get a little bit calorific. Might have a couple of beers. I might do. I don't know. Life's too short. That's what I said. It's about finding that balance. So I'm trying to bank a good few calories going into the weekend. So today, where are we at there with the old calories? So I've got my yogurt bowl in. I've got my lunch in and I've got my tea in, and I'm at 1,506 calories. So I've still got a 600 calorie swing for today if I want it. But yeah, try and eat it hard during the week, because Monday to Friday for the next 3 weeks is Monday to Friday. There's nothing's going to change about that. Even if, like I say, there's always, it's compromise and balance, not sacrifice. But Monday to Friday, if my mate messaged me tonight saying, fancy a couple, I'd just say no. But I don't do anything to school. I'm very strict school. Bang. No, I do my work. During the week, my routine is my routine, and I won't lose that up until Christmas. So Monday to Friday is going to be ding, ding, ding. And what does keep me accountable for a Friday night, because that can make all the difference. It really can. If you're doing Friday night out, Saturday night out, hangover day, Sunday, that can be me. I teach spin Saturday morning, and I take things like that really, really seriously. Not just in terms of, could I have a couple of beers Friday night and go and teach a spin class Saturday morning? I could, but I don't want to. I always want to lead by example, right? And I'm not saying that you can't have a couple of beers and teach spin, but what I'm saying I want to teach by example is I want to be the best I can be on that spin bike in the moment. And I want to give myself the chance to be the best I can be, right? So if I see some of my not clients, what's the word? Some of my people in my class, right? If I see some members at the gym flagging, I'm bouncing me on a spin bike. I don't shut up for 45 minutes. I come off the bike absolutely dripping in sweat. And that is how every single person on that spin bike should leave the class. And I just can I give it my all if I've had a couple of beers the night before? Probably not. So I don't want to. And it keeps me locked in. It keeps me locked in Monday to Friday. It's actually been, there's little things that have happened this year that, don't worry, I started teaching spin last August, going back and teaching spin last August. And, it helped. It helped rein me in, certainly on Fridays. This year, I'm doing Tuesday and Saturday mornings, Tuesday evenings, Saturday mornings. And again, it's I don't look like a spin instructor, right? I've got a lot of loose skin. I'm 6 foot stupid. I've got bandy legs because of my mobility issues. And anyone new to the class, right, would probably look at me and go, is he the instructor? And I do get those looks, and I know I do, from new people, new members in the gym and this, that, and the other. And in fact, I had a lady the other week, and she was lovely, right? I had a lady the other week. She was really, really lovely. But when I was walking out to go for a quick wee before the class started, and she was walking in, and she looked a bit dazed and confused. She was like, "Hey, is this spin? It's not sorry. No, get in, jump on a bike. I'll be back shortly." And she went, "All right, okay." There was, it was like, I had no idea he was, and this might just be my own little insecurities in a way, because I know I was a bit like this when I was a PT. I know I didn't look like a personal trainer, right? Your typical personal trainer, or your typical fitness instructor. Anyway, I come back in, and she's like, she'd come over to me, I've not done this before. And I said, "Right, have you got the intelligence?" Yeah, she said, "I've had a bit of an induction." She said, "I've got the intelligent cycling app. They've shown me how to set, right, so give her a quick run through, taught her how to log into the system. Right, so the workout will come up on your phone, but obviously it's on the screen at the front as well. Blah, blah, blah. We need to set the power on your bike. Have you ever spun before?" Yeah. Oh, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I spin 3 times a week. I've got my own Peloton bike as well, and this, that, and the other." And I was like, "All right, okay." And I say, "We say your general fitness is good." I said, "Right, so it's going to be a bit of a suck it and see for what I set your power out on your bike for the first one." And she was like, "Oh no," she said, "I want to work." I was like, "Brilliant, okay." So I set it at like 140, which is a decent, it's pretty decent, but it's a good test. I was like, she'll get a good workout. I could see halfway through the class, he was like, I've been a bit Billy Big Bollocks here. I should have toned it down a little bit. But she had a really good workout. She really, really did. And I'm just like, and I shout my power out on my bike. And I can see people like, "Oh, blooming there." I think some people think, like, I set my power quite low so I can teach. I have my power on my bike lower than I would do normally so I can talk. Like, if I was just doing the class, I'd have it set a bit higher, but still, trying to talk for 45 minutes while your heart rate averages 145 beats per minute isn't the easiest thing in the world to do. Trust me, nothing shuts this up. Nothing whatsoever shuts this up. Maureen, good morning. Let me, I know exactly what I was having today, just had to alter the fruit calories. Yeah, and again, do you know what? If we pre-track calories, like I've just done there, and things change, you could just alter your diary. Things do change. Like I say, life can be quite reactive at times, I went to law school in Chester, such a lovely place. I absolutely love Chester. It's my favorite. It's literally, it's an hour and 10 minutes from us. It is my favorite city within, not that I'm saying I've done loads of different cities, but from us here, we can do Chester, we can do Manchester, we can do Liverpool, we could go up to Lady. I just love Chester. I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's, I love it. I just absolutely love it. It's one of my fave places to go. It's great for a walk round. I love the history there. There's some really quirky restaurants and bars. It's decent for shopping. There's some lovely. We stay in a hotel that is dog friendly. It's called the Hotel Chester. It's just behind the Grosvenor. And they're dog friendly, so we'll take Blossom with us. We won't take Betty. She couldn't think of anything worse. She flipping hates leaving the house, bless her. But Blossom will love it. So the hotel's dog friendly. And the whole of Chester's dog friendly, which we love. So it has the little purple. If you've never been to Chester and you take your dog, they have like a purple sticker that's like a dog paw on the windows, and every place that has that in is dog friendly, and pretty much everywhere is dog friendly. They've got to be, because once a few places start being dog friendly, because once a few places start being dog friendly, you will get left behind if you don't follow suit. And then after we've done that, and then on the way home, we'll go to Cheshire Oaks. And again, Cheshire Oaks is totally dog friendly. You can take your dog into all pretty much 95% of the shops in Cheshire Oaks. So we'll do that on the way back. And yeah, we absolutely love Chester. It's brilliant. I've got to go. Like, I have my favorite. I'm not saying it's the best pub in the world, but I love it. The Bear and Billet, which it's like one of the oldest pubs in the country. It was built like in 1600 or something like that. Proper old timber frame. I love it. And at Christmas, it is amazing. They have a proper big roaring. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. I can't wait. Can't wait. Is the crypt still there? Couldn't tell you. I genuinely couldn't tell you. Rachel, no. Rachel goes to Chester a lot more than I do, actually. Lovely copy button on New Check. Brilliant feature. Guys, if you've never used it, so if you, let's say you make your food, like I do, I pretty much make a yogurt bowl the same every day. 30 grams of whey protein, 150 grams of whey protein powder, 5 grams of chia seeds, 25 grams of granola. Right, that is pretty much my yogurt bowl. And then I choose what fruit. But I have the base. So the base, 25 grams of granola, 150 grams of Greek yogurt, 30 grams of protein powder, 5 grams of chia seeds. That is the base, right? The only thing I add then is different fruits, and I have different flavored protein powders, but they're all the same calories. I have different fruits, and sometimes I have peanut butter depending on what my calories are doing. I want peanut butter today because, again, I'm reining it in at the moment to try and bank a good amount of calories for the weekend. So I have my base yogurt bowl, which I put in, and then this morning I'm having 100 grams of strawberries and 100 grams of raspberries. That's it. So that's my fruit in my yogurt bowl. So I'll add 100 grams of frozen strawberries. That's frozen weight. 100 grams of frozen strawberries, 100 grams of frozen raspberries. Then the base yogurt bowl mix. And that's it. Oh, and sometimes honey. Sometimes I have some honey. Sometimes, again, I'm not having honey. I've had a tea. I put a teaspoon and a half, because raspberries are sour. Teaspoon and a half of stevia in. So I've took my fruit out now, right? So I've took my fruit out now. I don't have frozen. I see some people make yogurt bowls with actually frozen fruit and chop the way through it. Not interested in that. I do leave my fruit in the freezer, and you can just defrost. If you don't want to do, you can just put your frozen fruit bags in the fridge as soon as you buy them and just let them defrost, and then just, if you eat them, they'll be fine for a good few days. I leave my fruit in the freezer, and I tend to, I took it out at 7:15 this morning, doing this live, going to the gym. When I come back, I'll make my yogurt bowl. My fruit will have defrosted by the time I get back, So I have all my meals saved. But like, I had a yogurt, but what I've made this morning, I actually had it on Friday. Same fruit, same base yogurt bowl, and the same granola. So I just went back to Friday, selected what I had, copy to today. Done. That's it. That's your tracking done. What I had for dinner on Monday, I had half a pack of Aldi steamed white rice, a portion of my creamy turkey chili con carne thing that I made on Monday, like meal prep thing, and then 100 grams of tender stem broccoli. I'm having that for my dinner today. So copy and paste, bang, that's it, done. That's how quick and easy it can be to track your calories, Right. I went for an appointment about my knees yesterday. Right. So if anyone doesn't know, I'll give you a very quick summary. I used to be 40 stone. And I spent a lot of time being 40 stone, and that has absolutely battered my knees. right? Obviously, I've lost quite a lot of weight. I went for an MRI scan 8 years ago, and that MRI scan said my knees were knackered, right? But at the time, my GP was literally like, I'll be honest with you, you were, how old was I 8 years ago? I was like 37. So he said, you're mid 30s, right? No one's going to do anything. And, does it affect your life in any way? And I said, they hurt and they're a bit uncomfortable. But in all honesty, I train my legs in the gym. I've worked on strength training, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm all right. And he said, if you can just cope for as long as you can, try and cope for as long as you can. So I was like, all right. So I cracked on. Since then, I've obviously probably accelerated my knee wear from being a personal trainer, spending a lot of time on my feet, a lot of pressure through my body. I'm a big guy and I'm tall as well. And I've just noticed the last 18, actually, I'm lying here. I noticed about 3 years ago that my knees were a hell of a lot worse, right? I was struggling. I was struggling to walk for like 20 minutes, 25 before I was in a lot of pain. And I just pushed through it. It's who I am as a person, right? That coincided with me gaining quite a bit of weight back, and I was blind to it, right? I gained from being my lightest, I gained over 4 stone back, right? That's a lot of weight. That's 50 or 60 pounds extra pressure. And I wasn't doing any of my fitness classes. I wasn't training my legs. So my legs were getting weaker. And it was just a combination of factors. Anyway, in the last 12, 18 months, I've gone back spinning, which has been fantastic. It's actually really improved my knees. I started training legs a little bit again. And I've lost 3 stone this year, which has took loads of pressure off. But my knees are, the last time I was the weight I am now, my knees were they definitely just deteriorated. Time and this and the other. So I've wanted to reach out for a bit, but I've been a bit nervous because I've gained some weight back, and the NHS has all my weight logged from different operations I've had. And, I've been kind of like, if I've gone at the beginning of this year after Christmas and I was sort of 20 and a half stone, then you go, well, you used to be 16 and a half stone, you're 20 and a half stone, you're 4 stone heavier than you used to be. Like, get down to that. So I've kind of held on till I've lost a decent amount of weight this year. So anyway, I went yesterday for my appointment. I apparently saw one of the best surgeons there is. And he was basically really, really positive, which was actually nice to hear. He said, you don't need new knees. He said, you're 45, right? You're doing 11,000 steps a day. You're spinning this and that. And he said, to be honest with you, there's no guarantee a new knees will actually improve anything. They're not a massive fix. Right, they're a massive fix if you can't walk, or if you're non-weight bearing, or you can only walk with crutches. But he said, really, at your age, with the movement you're still able to do, even if it's uncomfortable, your knees are just the way they are. Anyway, got my x-rays up, and the arthritis from what was 8 years ago I'm riddled with. It was like, okay. So, and this was like, as he saw before he looked into anything. So he said, we can give you, there are options to improve the situation. He said, you've had nothing. He said, you've not had cortisones, you've not had gels put into the knee. He said, we can do all sorts now. We can scrape some of the arthritis away. We can do minor ops. We can do all sorts to make them better than what they are now. But he said, really, at your age, a knee replacement is kind of the last thing you want, because there's nothing to say. He said, after a knee replacement, if you can get full extension of your knees, you can fully straighten your leg out, and you can sit with your knees at a 90-degree angle, we take that as a plus. You can do that now. So I was like, okay. So it was actually nice to hear. I'm here thinking that I'm an absolute, I'm going to be on disability in 2 years or something like that. And it was really positive to hear him sort of saying, they're not he said, your mobility isn't as bad as you think it is. But, and then he was like, right, I've looked at your 8-year-old MRI scan, but I can't base anything off that. So we need an up-to-date MRI scan. And he said, don't get me wrong, I might get the up-to-date MRI scan and I might change my mind. I might be like, no, you need reconstructive surgery in your knees. We won't know that till we've done an MRI. Anyway, then I said, well, I have been for an X-ray, weight bearing and non-weight bearing 2 weeks ago. Ah, right, okay. So he brought that up. And literally, my whole both knees are riddled with I mean, I knew I had arthritis in my knees anyway, but they are absolutely just the patches of arthritis. It was like, and it's really bad on the outside of my knees. So he changed his tune a little bit when he saw that, and he was like, how do you do 11,000 steps a day? And how do you teach with knees like that? And I was like, I just do it. Like, I just do it. I'm just adapting to it. So anyway, he was like, okay, that's good. So anyway, that's it. So kind of, it's something I've been worried about if I did get if I did have reconstructive surgery, if I had 2 new knees, could it be worse? And it could. I know the risks. You know, at the moment, I still can spin. I did 9 spin classes in a week the other week, right? So if I went for new knees and it would stop me doing that, I'd rather be in the pain I'm in now and be able to spin and be able to do 11,000 steps a day than risk me not being able to move what I can do now. So I was all right with that. So next steps, MRI before Christmas. They're going to ring me up this week and get me booked in to have a proper look inside at the full extent of what's going on in there. And then he basically said, what we'll try and do is we're just going to try and prolong it on those knees for as long as possible. He said, because when we give you new knees, and he said, you will need them at some point. He said, but ideally, I wouldn't like to do it until you're 60. And I was like, what? 15 years? He was like, ideally. But he said, I'm not saying we'll get that far. But he said, at your height, at your current weight, and I'm not expecting you, like, to drop any more than 18 stone at your height, and you're obviously fit and healthy and well. But he said, you'd put so much pressure through, you'd have to really protect your new knees. So he said you would have to probably walk a bit less or do it in smaller bursts. And I was like, I don't want to compromise on that. He said, okay. So there we are. So that is the update from the knee doctor person. So yeah, I'm probably not going to have new knees, but I think from what he said yesterday, I know from the first MRI, I'm bone on bone in my knees or very limited cartilage. So from what he said yesterday, something I did, and he said that was in your 8 year ago MRI, so that's going to be even worse now. He said what I probably first port of call will be going in, and he said I don't know until I've seen you up to date MRI. He's going in and flushing out all the broken up cartilage and everything that's knackered, and then they can put like a gel that's like a putty, and it lasts for 12 months. So they do this every 12 months basically, that goes in between your joints or something, and it kind of it acts like a fake cartilage, and that would then reduce a lot of the pain, especially when I'm bending the knee, because at the moment there's nowhere for the knee to go. It's sort of, my knees are like that, it'd sort of be like that, and there'd be a bit more room. So anyway, we'll see. I'll keep you updated. It was really interesting though, because in my head I was just like, my only options. I didn't realize there was so many other options that could improve things, you know. So we'll wait. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. Mark, anyway, I had some gym struggles last 6-9 months. Turns out I've got degen arthritis, scans and tests. Yeah, well, flipping it. I'm with you there. Showed it up on back and shoulders. Any tips to help it? NHS physio has ended and not helped. It's not something I can really comment on, unless I get a lot of people asking me about like issues, and you know, it's obviously it's osteoarthritis that you'll have, which will be around the joints, because that's where arthritis forms. And it's just a case of strengthening certain areas to take the pressure off those joints. So before I had my extra knee issues that I've got now, like your quads in your legs take so much pressure off your knees if they're a decent strength. So when I used to get people that come in with knee issues into the gym, we'd work on exercises that would increase the quad, but we'd obviously do it with what we would call closed chain exercises or zero impact exercises. So strengthening the quads without putting any pressure through the joints. In terms of back and shoulders, without me seeing where you have impingements, how your flexibility is, it's quite hard. But what you don't want to do with things like that is exaggerate it by putting a lot of force through. So what I would say with things like that is, and certainly until you maybe, I don't know what your strength's like in the gym, I have no idea what your training's like. Obviously, form is imperative. I see so many people in the gym that lift with poor form, and it drives me wild. I see so many people that work with personal trainers in a gym that lift with poor form. That drives me even more wild. But anyway, that's a different story. And really, it is a case of leaving. Sometimes it's a case of leaving your ego at the door. That's what I've done the last 12, 18 months of my training. I don't lift heavy at all anymore. I used to try. I was always trying to do PBs and this, that, and the other. I don't. I literally work much lighter, but much more intense. Right. So, but it's a hard one for me to give advice on unless I can actually dive. Like, obviously, I'm not, I'm not a physio. I'm not. So I work with, or when I was a PT, I used to work with quite a few physio. Well, if someone comes to me and they're like, I'd get the physio to email their report over, and then I could have a read through it, and then I could determine what we do in the gym to try and improve the situation. Maybe find yourself a better physio. If physio hasn't helped it, like I go to a physio at Ribby. He's an NHS physio, but he does private work as well. And he's not cheap, but I go every couple of weeks now. And James is brilliant. He's a big trainer himself, so he loves it. So and I've had quite a lot of shoulder issues in this shoulder for years, and I'm just trying to rehab it myself. I've had 4 sessions with him, and some of the exercises he's given me, I'm always going to have issues with it, have just been fantastic. So, if physio won't, it's always going to be an ongoing thing for you to protect it. So, like 2 physio sessions isn't going to fix an issue. This shoulder issue, what he's done in 4 sessions has changed it, but it's going to be 12 months before I probably get it to anywhere where I need it to be without the impingement and without the issues, Weirdly, the physio said my shoulder blades are knackered too, didn't he? Oh, anything can be knackered. Anything can be knackered in the body. You can knacker absolutely any bone, any muscle, any ligament, any tendon. Yeah, we can. And it's just down to wear and tear. It's kind of, people that are more like my back my lower back is knackered. Why? Because I carried 40 stone through it and your lower back always takes a big brunt, right? A lot of people have very poor posture. A lot of people are very hunched over and quite kyphotic in the top of their back. That puts a lot of strain on the lower back. Also, a lot of people that are overweight are very sedentary. They sit down all the time. When you sit down, you shorten your hamstrings, right? And when you shorten your hamstrings, again, that puts loads of pressure through the lower of your back and causes lots of back issues. So many people that are like, I get a lot of clients that come on board and they're averaging 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day, which means they literally, unless they do a job where they're stood behind a till or something like that, I'm like, if you do 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day, you are literally telling me you sit down for over 23 hours of the day. All right, you lie down for maybe 8. So you sat down for 15 hours a day, you lie down for 8 or 9 because you're in bed, and you're literally, it's literally a case of you're going to be stood up for an hour a day. right? So you're constantly shortening your hamstrings. By constantly shortening your hamstrings, if you don't stretch and you don't have a decent level of movement, the pressure that puts through your lower back is ridiculous. And then they say, yeah, when I go for an half-hour walk, my back aches. It will do, because you've got this like tight elastic band that's pulling down on it all the time. But because of your weight, your body's pulling you forward, because we carry a lot more weight here than we do in our back. And then your hamstrings are fighting each other. And what takes all the brunt of that? Your lower back. It absolutely knackers it, knackers it. I'm quite kyphotic. So if my posture's not bad, but if I sit here, you can see the roll at the top of my back. The base of my neck should be here, right? It shouldn't. Now, don't get wrong. It looks worse because I've got a hoodie in it, but like my head shouldn't be. It should, your back should be. When your back ends, your neck should start. My neck starts here, and my back end. I've got this little arch in the lower of my back. That is just from poor posture for years and years and years of being morbidly obese. And that's not going to get any better. Well, it will do. It's got a lot better, because I do a lot of straight. I do a lot of, if you want to straighten this out and strengthen it, you've got to pull your shoulder blades back, right? So you do a lot of like face pulls in the gym. You do a lot of like reverse flies, things that strengthen up your trapezius, which is a little triangle that runs from the base of your neck in between your shoulder blades. You want to strengthen that up. And by strengthening that up, it will pull your shoulders round, which will stop you being like this and help you being like that. And again, it's just good things to do. I work on loads of stuff to strengthen my back a little bit, like I say, face pulls, reverse flies, just seated rows in general. Obviously, they work your lats, but it'll also, sometimes I'll work seated rows and pull it into my tummy area. Sometimes I'll work seated and pull it into my chest area, which really targets my trapezius at the back, Anyway, there we go. A bit of PTing this morning. There we go. Right, I've got to go, peeps. That's me. I'm out. I will be back do you know what? I'm not going to have time to post the links. I might do. Right, I'm going to go now, and then I need to do these links. I've got to be back in 2 hours, and I've got to send off about 1,000,001 protein boxes. They're on the way. What's the date today, guys? 3rd, 03, 12 p.m. I started putting this now because I'm rubbish with me timings. Oh no, that's not that. That's for that. Right, guys, I'm going. It's been a pleasure as always. Oh, I've not mentioned it, guys. Boss your protein boxes. I've got 3 left. I'll mention them tomorrow if I don't get rid of them today. In fact, if I don't get rid of these 3, I'm not too bothered. I'll keep one for myself. And the other 2, I don't know. I'll do something with them. But Boss your protein boxes. There are 3 left, including this one. So if you want one, please go grab one. I've done 45. Sold 45 this month. So thank you very much if you bought a Boss your protein box. 45. I did send a few off yesterday because I couldn't do 45. I've got my mum's mini today. How do you fit 45 of them in the flipping mini? I've got 20 odd of them in the mini at the moment. And then I'll do the rest this afternoon. But there's 3 left. If you want to Boss your protein box, TikTok profile, Facebook page, YouTube page, Instagram, find my link tree, scan down. It's a bit of a Christmas theme one. So I've tried to kind of replicate some food, not food, but some flavors around Christmas. There's also a few extra treats in there as well. So if you want a Boss your protein box, please go grab one now. I wanted to sell them all out by today, but it's fine that I haven't done. But there's 3 left. I will get rid of them over the next couple of days. That is my mission. If they've gone by this weekend, and that's the most I've done. Most I've done is 48. I've never sold 48 in a month before. So thank you very much if you have bought one. Right, TikTok, I'll sign off to you first. If you're on Planner in the community, I'll be back 12 p.m. for this week's Everything Weight Loss session. If I don't see it, I will be back tomorrow morning. It might just I might be taking Rachel to work tomorrow. But if I do, I'll be coming on because we're going to go to the gym together after work. So it's just a case of me. Yeah, I might run Rachel to work. So I will be. So 8:30 tomorrow morning, triple stream, and we'll do a full hour tomorrow. And then weight loss, everything, weight loss coaching live will be at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So if I don't see you on the Everything Weight Loss session, if you're on Planning with the Community, hopefully I'll see you at some point tomorrow morning. Have a great day, TikTok. And then Facebook, YouTube, send to you lovely people. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. If you're on Planning with the Community, I'll see you at 12 if you're free. If not, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great Wednesday.